Okay, for this trick, going to shuffle deck as always. This one I kind of like. I did this pretty recently to some people, and I used it as a closer actually. A little different variation, but the same concept. Because after you do so many tricks of you putting in the card and cutting it, some people get suspicious. So this is sort of a nice variation of that. Anyway, somebody picks a card. Say they pick this one here, okay? And what's cool is they can actually choose where to put it in the deck and push it in themselves. Okay? So they push it in, then I just take the deck, hand it over to them, and it's all theirs to shuffle up as much as they want. So this is totally a free shuffle, as it's called. So really get it mixed in there. Awesome. So then they'd hand the deck back to me. So now it's in my control. And then all I'd do, just say, alright, your card's somewhere in the pack. I'm going to say it's about, I think it's about 12th, maybe 13th down. What I'll do is actually make the card reveal itself just like that in the pack. So that's the trick. A little easier to perform for a spectator, but let's learn how it works. Okay, so for the trick, what you're going to be doing is simply doing a little crimp on a card. We're going to go through how I do it, and this isn't anything incredible, but is a great technique, really simple, and works very well. So somebody picks a card. Let's just say they pick the 10 of clubs. What we're going to do is show them the card. What we're going to do is grab the where one of the pips is. Going to want one of those corners, so it doesn't matter which direction the card is facing, but it'll be the bottom left. And then what you're going to do is grab it right here in between this index finger and your middle finger, and all you're going to do is sort of push down between those and put a little bend in the card, just like this. And when you're done, it'll look just like that. Okay, so nothing major, but if I can get this card, kind of flat, you can see it sort of bends up there in the one corner. So it's subtle, but it doesn't take that much really. And basically all this does is when we cut this into the middle, you can look at the side of the deck. You can see that black line there, and it's even easier to see when you're from my angle, where you can just pick it up right at that spot, and you can grab from that spot right to the card. Okay, so we have that, and then what you can do is, if you can, just flip it around, so that way the crimp is in the deck now, and ask them to take the deck and push it in. So they push it in, you ask them to shuffle it up. This pretty much isn't going to go away unless you actually rub the card. It's pretty easy to fix these when you're done, but I mean, they can do a riffle or whatever. It's okay, it doesn't really matter, provided they don't bend up a lot of the other cards. So usually most people don't know how to shuffle very well, so I just ask them, just give the deck a couple of cuts or an overhand shuffle. So if you just say, give it a shuffle, you go like this, you can sort of mind the pattern and sort of force them to do what you want, instead of saying give it a shuffle, or they might try something that'll hurt the cards. Anyway, alright, so it's mixed up. We don't know where the card is. We take the deck back, and sometimes you'll get it like this, but just give a quick rotate, and then you can see where your break is. I did this one a little bit exaggerated this time, but you can see that there. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I like to sort of grab where the break is and just try to get the cards so it's on top of my thumb break. Okay? Instead of, you could grab right to it. Now the first time I did this, I just left it right there, and if you look up the bottom kick, the second trick I taught in the series, you just kick that card right off the bottom from that position. That can be really cool as well. So, 1 second. Okay. So you could just say your card somewhere in the middle, and boom, reveal their card instantly, and that looks really cool. That got a good reaction. But another way to do it is to simply take it here, and you can either, if you're a beginner, just cut the deck a couple of times. I don't know how my pass looked in my performance, but it probably didn't look great. But you could do the pass. You could say your card somewhere in the pack and do the Herman pass like that. Anyway, so basically you're going to get the card to the top. And really you could use any production. The one I'm going to teach is one by I learned from Wayne Houchin, which is where you take the deck and you do kind of a hard grip. This isn't the easiest move, but you're going to take your middle finger and put it along the deck like this. You're going to take your ring and index finger and you're going to grip the corners like this. Now this is what I call uncomfortable. So basically from this position, if you take your thumb and you push up, it'll kind of hurt, but there'll be sort of a pop of the cards. And if you just release, you can actually shoot the cards. And if you give just a little bit of hand motion, you know, like that, like that. So it's not an easy thing to do, but it does take a little bit of practice. And all you're doing is pushing up with your thumb, and then it'll let go from there. So anyway, and then all you need to do is practice a little bit, and then you can get them to shoot. So from their angle, it's going to be like you're going to make the card. And that sometimes happens. When that happens, I just make a joke or say, "Oh, I missed," like that. So and it can look really nice, just chucking these cards right out like that. So, and it almost looks like the card is shooting itself from the pack. And then what I like to do is to end, you know, with they think their card's there, we pass it to the top, and then do a spread like that, and that gives the psychology that it came from the middle as well. Anyway, so that's the trick, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next week. And one last thing, when you have the card, to fix it, all you need to do is take the bent corner and just sort of stroke it back a little bit like that. And if you do that, it will almost always, you know, it'll bend the card back. Might be a little bumpy, but when you put it in the deck, it won't really register the rest. And then if you dribble it in and shuffle the rest of the cards after a little bit, it will be completely back to normal.